Kia ora homa. So this is the second video in our little skink series, and this is a bit of an update to kind of tell you that we have had some babies. So if you want to see some little tiny baby skinks, stick around and I'll see you in the video. So in the last video that we did in this series, I managed to find what I believed to be at the time a pregnant skink. So I caught this pregnant skink because the area that I caught it in, just to give you a bit of background, we were digging it up and replacing it with some garden and all that kind of taking out all this weeds and vegetation and things like that, and replaced it with bark and stuff like that. And it wasn't really a safe place for a skink anymore because there was no cover. And I saw this poor giant pregnant skink trying to run away, and so, waddle away would probably be a more preferable way to put it. And so I carefully picked her up, and I already had the tank available because I just let Smaug, our previous skink, go, and I released it into this tank, and I started monitoring it for about 2 or 3 weeks before I came back to school. And so just yesterday, being Monday here in New Zealand, one of my students noticed that there were baby skinks. Now, I did some research. Skinks in New Zealand, there are approximately 100 or so different varieties of skink and gecko in New Zealand, and excluding only 2 varieties, our skinks generally will give birth to live young. And just in a nutshell of what they do is they retain their eggs inside their body, and then the babies hatch out of those eggs, and then they give birth to live young. Now, if you're someone who is more knowledgeable on this kind of thing than me, please put something in the comments line below, because I really love to learn more about skinks. They've become one of my favourite animals, particularly of New Zealand animals. I really like reptiles and things like that. So please, if you know a little bit more than me, leave something in the comments line. That'll be much appreciated. And it's the skink alarm. You're going to let other people gain a little bit more information and knowledge. So thanks very much. But now we'll cut straight to the skinks.
So our female skink, she gave birth to 2 little skinks. So this is number 1, and there's number 2. Now these are skinks, they're not geckos. When you see their feet, they've got claws, they don't have those pads. And you can see one is slightly more red than the other one. So this one's very, very red, and this one not so much so. Now, I know this tank that I've got them in looks very barren, and I've separated them out because I'm a little bit cautious that I don't want Sif to eat her babies. I'm not 100% sure whether or not that would actually happen, but I do want to prevent that from happening, just in case. Now, the reason why I've got this tank like this for now is just to give people an opportunity to see these baby skinks. I'm sure you've seen them in your garden. If you're someone viewing from New Zealand or Australia, you know that you'll see them on the sun, on the concrete. So I've left it like this just so people can see, and then I'm going to create a habitat in here for these 2 little guys, very much the same as Sif's. Now I will keep you updated as we go. What I'm going to be feeding them is obviously very small invertebrates, things like small ant larvae, basically tiny slaters, anything I can get my hands on that I would say they'll be able to consume. Now obviously Sif is 10 to 15 times, even 20 times bigger than these guys, and so she's able to consume much larger things. So it'll be very, very tiny stuff, tiny invertebrates to start off with. I know in the wild these guys will eat vegetation, and particularly things like I think it's myrtle berries, I believe that's what they're called. But in this kind of a scenario, this situation, these guys will be just purely fed on invertebrates. So they're obviously not very happy about the situation at the moment, but I'm going to make it a lot more pleasant for them. So thanks for watching. Until next time, ka kite anō. I'll keep you posted of the development of these guys. I don't intend on keeping these guys long term. I will release these guys out into the wild. This is more of a learning experience for my class and the students at my school, so they can see these guys before I let them go. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments line below. I'm happy to answer questions. And I will see you next time on Mr. Ashley's Place. Ka kite anō.